boxing fans ringside, joining us at the Scotiabank Convention Centre, the Niagara Falls in Canada. Lee Baxter Promotions now bring you the co-main event of the evening. This is a super welterweight contest. We are scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds of boxing. This bout sponsored by Pinty's, making great food fun. Everlast, Watchfinder, Neutral Vodka, Athlete Development and Management, Hard Hat Hunter, and DAZN. Should the bout go the distance, it will be scored by our 3 judges from ringside. They are Alan Davies, Jasper Kuchevsky, and Eric Marlinsky. Timekeepers on the bell are Jim Molkelborn and Dave Morden. And upon the sound of the bell, the third man in the ring is our referee in charge of this bout, introducing Floyd Porter. Boxing out of the blue corner on my right-hand side, wearing the red shorts trimmed with gold. On the scales officially at 153.6 pounds. 65 fights as a professional boxer, 37 victories, including 18 going by way of KO. He has 25 defeats on his record. Standing in the ring this evening as a former WBC Silver Super Lightweight Champion and a former IBA World Super Lightweight Champion. Boxing out of Veracruz, Mexico. Introducing Silverio Chamaco III Ortiz! And across the ring, boxing out of the red corner, on the scales officially at 150.8 pounds, wearing the black shorts trimmed with gold, bringing to the ring a career record including 30 victories, 14 finishing inside the scheduled distance. He has 5 defeats and 2 draws on his record. Standing in the ring this evening as a former WBA and ABA welterweight champion. Now boxing out of Toronto, Ontario, via way of his native Bogota, Colombia, introducing Samuel Vargas.
Sammy Vargas. Silverio Ortiz set to get underway here. Jason Abelson ringside along with
referee Floyd Porter with his final instructions.
2-time Super Bantamweight champions Steve Molitor ringside.
Respect your Vader's instructions. Listen for my commands at all times. Belt lines look good. Touch gloves now. Good luck.
Floyd Porter with the final instructions. These 2 warriors. And Sam Vargas, 5 career losses, 4 of them to the likes of Errol Spence Jr., Danny Garcia, Amir Khan, and Luis Collazo. I mean, these are terrific fighters that he's lost to, and he's shown more not class, but he's shown more wrinkles to his game as his career's gone on.
Early on, Sammy was known as a tough banger. He's learned the box over the years and used his ring smarts and used ring generalship, box with guys and then set traps for guys, and he's grown leaps and bounds as each big fight as he's had.
He's had, and he's had losses, but they've never been bad nights. He's always shown class and heart, so much so that he's almost better off for those 2 losses he recently suffered to the likes of Collazo and Amir Khan, because in that he showed that he could just put on a good fight and hang with top fighters. And if you're a boxing promoter, what more do you want out of a guy?
Absolutely. Sometimes these guys come here and they lay down when they know they're not the favorite to win. Sammy goes in there whether he's an underdog or not, and he's coming to win and he's coming to fight.
Well, speaking of underdogs, Silverio Ortiz coming into the ring, a little extra around the waist, but showing some skill, showing that he's no novice in there.
One thing about the boxing game, body type and ring records, they don't mean nothing. Anyone with 2 hands and a heartbeat can win a fight in there. You don't judge a guy by his record or what his belly looks like.
And terrific right to the body by Vargas there.
But it does make for a nice target for Sammy.
It does make for a nice target. And the judges notice that too a little bit more, don't you think?
Absolutely. You hear that slap and that big belly shaking, it's a clear shot.
Steve Molitor alongside Jason Abelson here, proud to bring this terrific night of boxing to you, courtesy of Lee Baxter Promotions. Samuel Vargas one of the best uncrowned fighters in the sport, taking on Silverio Ortiz. Vargas in the black with gold trim versus Ortiz in the glitter red and gold trim early on in round 1. Both fighters having their moments early, but again, a filling out process. Now it's 8 rounds as opposed to, I guess, a longer length than Sammy might be used to. Does he approach this any differently knowing it's 8?
Absolutely not. Sammy has a one-pace style. He's not going to come out there and try to blow you in one round. He'll just wear and tear, wear you down, beat your body, beat your arms, and slowly break you down. And that's what he's going to look to do here tonight against Ortiz.
But back in the day, though, he would have been cautioned to the wind at this point, and he would have turned the fight against a guy that he probably should have a style edge against into an almost even type of fight.
Absolutely. And you see Sammy there roll off the ropes, throw a nice uppercut on the inside. That just shows his growth over these last few years, taking on some of these big fighters. He's looking very polished in there. Both
guys center of the ring trying to establish their jab. You want to see more out of Ortiz at this point, Steve?
It's still early in the first round. Sammy's applying the pressure on him, and Ortiz has thrown a few sneaky shots, a little left hand on the borderline there from Ortiz.
It's a tough round to judge just because you got more aggression out of Ortiz and more subtlety from Vargas. I'm sure you favor the ring generalship, but around like that where you have guys like an Ortiz a little more aggressive versus a slicker guy in Vargas, good overhand right by Ortiz. Where do your sympathy lies as someone who's analyzing the fight?
I love an experienced fighter who shows ring generalship. It's called the sweet science for a reason. I love to see guys go in there and practice their craft and not just stalk guys like a barroom bully.
Steve Molitor with Jason Abelson ringside here. I'm Jason. That's Steve. It's been a interesting first round and a bit here. Sammy Vargas much more patient than we've seen out of him in the past against an aggressive Silverio Ortiz. Ortiz stalking forward. Sammy doing a good job and switching up a little bit. Southpaw.
I gotta agree with what you said earlier, Jason. Jason.
Oh, big left and right from Ortiz. And before we get on Sammy too much for being slick, do you think maybe he gets sucked into being a little too slick and convinced that he's better defensively than he actually is?
Absolutely not. Sammy's good defensively.
There's a low blow there from Vargas. That looked like it could have been the second one that's ventured low. The second stanza. Referee Floyd Porter giving Ortiz 5 minutes if he needs it. But that was definitely south of the border. Take a look at that one again. Here it is, Vargas. Boom. Right to the hip, and then, wow, that's 2 low blows. That's a flurry of low blows. To the hip and then to the jewels.
The hip one you got to take in. It wasn't a hard left hook. It was low, though.
How hard does it need to be?
You got a protective cup in there. Your adrenaline's flowing. Sometimes you see guys really milk it.
I'd be one of them. I take the
big beautiful right hand by Vargas.
Yep, answered the bell. But getting back to my point, does Sammy run the risk of sometimes being too slick and maybe too cute in there, and maybe taking a picture when he throws a punch and giving the opposition a chance to counter?
With the experience that Sammy's had over the past few years fighting those top-notch guys, that's not going to happen here tonight against a guy like Ortiz.
Ortiz coming
big right hand with Ortiz.
Big right hand over the top. Vargas patiently countering with a right to the body of his own. Ortiz, though, not taking a step back. Forward. This could turn into a firefight, knowing Sammy is so hardwired to battle. And a guy like Ortiz is going to draw a schooled fighter in Vargas back to his brawling roots, don't you think?
If it was somebody else, yes, but Sammy Vargas, like I touched on earlier, with the experience he's had over the past few years, he's not going to get pulled out by a guy who wants to go to get into a brawl. He's going to outbox him, break him down, and that's what I expect from Sammy here tonight.
And we're seeing Sammy try to establish the jab from a distance. How important is that for him, Steve?
It means a lot. He's got to keep that jab in Ortiz's face, keep him off balance, don't let him wind up and set up a shot.
Jason Abelson, Steve Mulder, ringside from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, New York. We're in the midst of our co-feature leading up to a terrific main event between Custio Clayton and Johan Perez. In the meantime, Sammy Vargas and Silverio Ortiz going at it here. A good fight. Both men having their moments. Vargas a little more polished. Ortiz, some raw power and some aggression, has had his share of shots land as well. And again, if you're a judge, you might have to think, okay, do I like the aggression out of Ortiz? Do I like the slickness out of Sammy Vargas?
He's had a lot more fights than Sammy. He's been in some big fights as well. He has a lot of experience.
Everlast punch stat showing that Vargas has the edge in punches thrown. But again, you know, do you like the one-punch power of Ortiz, or do you like the busier, more polished work of Sam Vargas? So far, interesting, really intriguing fight through 2. Round 3, picking up where it left off. Vargas, good hook, good foot movement. The key really against a guy like Vargas, keep his feet moving, right? If Vargas' feet are planted, it gives him an opportunity to throw shots that he might not be hardwired to throw if you have him walking around. Good work by Vargas there and Ortiz. Sammy making Ortiz reset with some motion.
You see the experience of Sammy. He was moving to his right the whole time because he knows Ortiz got a little bit of power in that right hand. So he's not going to walk into his right hand. He's been clipped a few times over the shoulder. So Sammy's just smart, moving to his right. Beautiful catch and roll.
Good catch and roll by Vargas, but giving Ortiz an opportunity to plant and throw. But at the same time, it's also giving Vargas a chance to counter off the ropes. And this is something you didn't see from Vargas early on. I mean, that's just a touch of class defense and guile that wasn't there early on. He would have fired back in kind, which is very exciting, but, you know, it doesn't make for a long, prosperous career. We're seeing more guile and tact out of Vargas in this fight and really in his career. The last 3 or 4 fights, good overhand left hook by Ortiz. But it's one at a time from Ortiz. It's really pot shotting at this point, right?
It's pot shot, and that's why Sammy's got to be safe, because this guy's a veteran. He knows he's not going to outbox or out-hustle Sammy tonight. His only shot is a one-punch, weird, wild haymaker. So Sammy's got to keep his defense in check, which he has. He's boxing beautifully, rolling, hitting the body, catching shots.
And not pulling straight back either, because that wild overhand right, if you pull straight back, you make yourself a target. When Sammy does get out of the way, the hand's up. He seems to be really conscious of what's going on in the ring and who he's in with. Infighting along the ropes. Referee Floyd Porter pulling them apart. They're back at it now.
Both guys in there having fun, though. You like to see that. This is good. This is good work for Sammy. This is the type of fight he needs to stay busy, stay active, and then, you know, wait for that next call for a big fight.
Good work on the inside by both fighters. Vargas landing, though, I think the heavier shots. He's definitely busier. He's busier everywhere in the ring. Inside and out at this point. Good body shot by Sam Vargas. You want to see more body work by Sammy?
It's tough, you know. Look at the body shape of Ortiz. Yeah, he's got that little pot belly, but he's a short, little stocky guy. But Sammy's got to keep working the body, and he's laying a lot of nice body shots tonight. Let's not take away from that.
No, both guys.
These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Why they wanna move like that? Why you want gone? Why you want act like that? Why you play hard? Generations caught up, look how things will switch. People they're quick, now they wanna move at the quick. Boy wanna throw 10 buck, quick. Whole gang, whole man, old school, young
He's gotta keep that tight defense. He's on the inside like that.
We resume action here. Sammy Vargas looking to rebound from 2 recent losses against Luis Collazo and Amir Khan, but losses that were almost Pyrrhic victories because his stock in the boxing world just rocketing just because of the showing he had against 2 quality fighters. Hoping to keep that momentum tonight up against a guy like Ortiz, who might not have the same pedigree as Collazo and Khan, but offers a challenge nonetheless.
Absolutely. This is the type of fight that Sammy needs at this point of his career. It's a good competitive fight.
But not in too deep, though.
Not in too deep, but enough to keep him honest.
Good inside work from Sammy Vargas. And creating space with a little jab on the inside, too, and then coming back with power to the body. That's great busy work from Sam Vargas. and always keeping Ortiz's legs moving. I love that. You know, when you have a guy who's stalking and stalking and stalking, really the only opportunity you give him is by standing still and a one-shot opportunity. Why surrender that if you don't have to?
Absolutely, and that's, you know, Sammy's grown so much. He used to be the guy stalking people. Now he's the guy on his toes, moving around, outboxing guys.
What does he need to do to get over the hump against guys like Khan and Collazo? Because it's one thing to look really good against a guy like Ortiz. How do you translate that into that next level, a level that he still has been so close to conquering, but just hasn't yet?
I don't think he's going to get it here with Ortiz tonight, but he did get it every time he stood up and fought Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Amir Khan, Luis Collazo. Sammy's just better, getting better every fight with that experience.
Good left hand on the inside and a good right hand as well. Vargas landing sharp, crisp punches. Big left by Ortiz, caught Sammy behind the ear. But it's one at a time from Ortiz. One purposeful shot at a time anyway. He's throwing combos in bunches. They're not quite as effective. Great work from Sammy off the ropes, catching and rolling and countering.
This is a great night for Sammy Vargas. He looks great in there, rolling, catching shots. He's having fun. He's working on things.
Jason Abelson along with the champ Steve Mulder. A terrific fight so far. Low blow by Vargas, not really caught on by Floyd Porter. But really was on the leg, so no harm, no foul. Big swinging glasses right by Ortiz, missed by a country mile. Ortiz was off the mark right now. He looks a little confused and bewildered. That's another low blow that Floyd Porter didn't see from Vargas. Winging shots by Ortiz. Vargas shaking his head, telling Ortiz nothing, man.
Breaking him down slowly but surely. This is Sammy's fight all the way. He's in control.
He is in control. He's in control in the ring and on paper as well. The punch stats showing. He's throwing more and he's landing more as well, and he's keeping the pace up. In fact, getting busier as the fight's gone on. Jason Abelson ringside with two-time world super bantamweight champion, the Canadian kid Steve Mulder. Great for you. Great to be joined by you guys tonight. And we've got a cracker of a main event up ahead. In the meantime, Sam Vargas pouring it on against Silverio Ortiz. In the corner, coming out with maybe more of a purpose here.
Yes, he seems like he's got his foot on the gas a little bit more. He threw about 4 or 5 good quality body shots there. He's looking to break him down.
Good jab by Vargas. Another good step-in jab. Those are power jabs from Sam Vargas. Steps back out.
Sam Vargas looks so comfortable in there, popping that jab, feint with his front foot. He looks very, very impressive tonight against a tough Ortiz.
He does. He looks terrific. Is there anything you want to see from him offensively that you haven't so far as he's pouring it on?
Not at all. Now, Sammy's done everything he's needed to do. He's boxed. He's hit the body. He's countered. Ortiz is a tough guy.
He is a tough guy. He took a good counter shot from Vargas as well off the ropes. Clinching from both fighters. Floyd Porter breaking them apart and ordering him back to at it in the middle of the ring. Terrific movement. Ortiz creating space. Sammy's so comfortable on the inside as well, but very cagey though too.
Absolutely, like we knew a long time ago, Sammy's always been a tough, rough and tumble guy. He's learned to box and be polished over the years, and a beautiful right uppercut to the body, then over top, mixing it up. Ortiz doesn't know where they're coming from, and Sammy mixes it up like that. Great boxing by Sammy Vargas.
That right to the body that started things off, you can tell, really hurt Ortiz. And Sammy pouring it on in the corner as well.
And one thing I can tell you about Sammy Vargas is he won't get tired. He's in great shape. He puts in the road work. He puts in the sparring. He's not going to get tired here tonight.
No, in great shape, not taking anything for granted, because you look at this on paper, you think, oh, a night off, maybe I don't have to put in the rounds, I don't have to put in the miles, but he's coming in this fight in prime condition.
Sammy learned from one of the hardest workers in the sport, Steve Molitor. We ran hard together every day, 10K every day, and I know Sammy has the same work ethic, if not more than back in when we used to do it.
Terrific defense from Sammy, too, pulling back but keeping that right hand up.
Switching back and forth to southpaw, showing great footwork.
Do you like guys that switch, or does they give you a queasy feeling sometimes? Because there is that opportunity when you
Myself, personally, I'm not a big fan of it. Sammy wasn't switching the box there.
There's a big right hand by Ortiz. Caught Sammy. Sammy looking a little bemused at that shot, thinking, oh, I left him an opening. When it was ring center, it was all Sam Vargas.
Ortiz's moments are far and few between. Sammy Vargas is dominating this fight. He's doing what he wants in there. He's peppering with those 4 light jabs and ripping 2 hard body shots.
I like the soft, then hard, right? I mean, every shot does not have to be.
I'll be honest, Jason, I almost have tears in my eyes to see how much Sammy has grown over these years from those big fights. I'm so proud of him.
Sam Vargas making Steve Molitor, 2-time world champion, super bantamweight champion, one time one of the best pound-for-pound technicians in the world. Happy with what he's seeing from his old buddy. Good movement out of Vargas. But Ortiz still plodding ahead. I mean, the guy's not getting ripped off. Good double hook to the body and head.
And you know, when you hear Ortiz's punches land, he sounds like a guy with heavy hands.
Yeah,
he's got a thick little body, and he sounds like a thud to him when he lands on Vargas. But Vargas' defense is on point tonight. He's on his toes, moving, slipping, rolling shots.
Good double body work. Floyd Porter saying one of them slipped low. And you mentioned fighters milking. I don't want to say he is, because it's not me getting hit near the cup. It didn't look like the lowest shot for Vargas.
It wasn't the lowest shot. He might be looking to just catch a little break here, or catch a free point. Who knows what?
Is he going to pull the parachute? I think he's going to pull the chute here.
I don't think so.
Take a look at the low blow as per the judgment of Floyd Porter. Vargas, the hook, out of the belt line. I mean,
that one had a little zip to it.
Had zip to it, okay. All right.
Sammy's a big left hooker, and that was a little bit below the belt.
It was maybe a little harsh on Silverio Ortiz. He's taking it. Took it better than I take it, that's for sure. Ortiz taking his time, as he should. Why don't fighters take more time than they're allotted? Sometimes they just pop back up as if nothing happened.
I've never seen a fighter take 5 minutes. I know I never have. Fighters are proud men. They're not going to lay down and take a timeout.
True enough, and they're back at it. Silverio Ortiz in the glitter red, Sam Vargas in the black and dusty gold trip. Jason Abelson joined with 2-time super bantamweight champion of the world, the Canadian kid Steve Molitor, Sam Vargas and Silverio Ortiz. The co-main event to what should be a super terrific main event, Custio Clayton going up against Johan Perez, but still, Vargas and Ortiz to take care of business until then.
Look at that defense, beautiful defense by Vargas.
Great movement by Vargas, slipping some jabs and rights from Ortiz. Creating space for Vargas. There's some good work on the inside. Terrific little left hook to the head of Silverio Ortiz.
Sammy's having fun in there. He's comfortable. He knows his range. He knows what Ortiz has to offer.
Terrific performance from Sam Vargas tonight. Backing up those 2 quality losses to Palazzo and Amir Khan. Good jab, right hand too. Again, hit, pit, and then boom from Sam Vargas. Good inside left from Ortiz, but again, those aren't coming with near the regularity or the zip they had earlier.
Not even close. The body work has paid off, and now Sammy's allowed to have fun, and that's what he's doing.
Sammy coming in. Blood on Sam Vargas' face. It looks like the result. Oh no, he's bleeding.
Yeah,
right eye. It's got to be the result of a butt. Or maybe one of the shots came in and landed. But that's a bad cut. Just under the right brow of Sam Vargas. And a blemish
Referee
of
rules it an accidental headbutt.
Accidental headbutt as per the referee, Floyd Porter. Doctor saying it's okay, but the blood is flowing down from the right eye of Sam Vargas. Will that give Silverio Ortiz a little bit of purpose in this round? Joined by the aforementioned Steve Mulder, ringside here from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, Canada. Terrific night of fights so far. Terrific main event still to come. Custio Clayton against Johan Perez. In the meantime, Silverio Ortiz and Sam Vargas continue their torrid pace of what's been a really fun co-main event. Sam Vargas doing some, he's just showing so much caginess and guile in the ring. Not letting Ortiz rattle him with the pressure or the headbutt even.
Absolutely, Sam, but he's going to be boxing a little bit more. That blood's going to be flowing the IOC. Sammy box a little more, not take so many risks.
Good overhand right by Sammy. Ortiz had a couple shots there as well. The blood beginning to reflow again. Sam Vargas leaking right now. And Ortiz showing no signs of slowing down, but Sam Vargas, good right-left combination. The left coming right up the pike in the form of an uppercut. You have Sammy well ahead in this fight, Steve?
Absolutely. He's won every round in my eyes. And let's not get it twisted. Sammy Vargas is a warrior. That blood's not going to slow him down. He's here to win. He likes the blood.
That's good. He could be a blast in the past for him.
Absolutely.
This is what it used to be. Can he keep the composure with the blood flowing and maintain that discipline that he's shown through the first 7 rounds?
Absolutely. He already has since he's gotten the cut. He's still dipping, rolling, boxing beautifully, popping that jab.
Sam Vargas in the off block against Silverio Ortiz in the glitter red. Left hook by Ortiz. Finds to the bloody face of Vargas, but not a huge punch. And blood flowing from the left eye of Vargas too. Not sure if that's a smear from the right eye, but more blood on Vargas's face. Good left hand from Ortiz. Vargas going straight back for one of the few moments in the fight. Silverio Ortiz jabbing, hooking a little bit, but the steam from his punches is really gone. I think he's storing him up for one big plant throw at this point. Heads coming together again. Ortiz leaning in a little bit there, Steve.
Absolutely. He's a shorter, stockier little fighter, and that head's ramming Sammy and cutting his face up.
And we're seeing that more and more. He's leaning to the left, but leaning in, and says Sammy's going to his right. The heads are colliding more and more often. Ortiz is a cagey guy, though. He has to know that could be his best weapon up until this point.
It's the only chance he's got, if you ask me. He's lost every round. Sammy's in control of this fight without question.
Little cute bolo work fight. Ortiz, but pays the price. Vargas answering with 2 big lefts. Short, crisp, and on target.
You're not going to disrespect a guy like Sammy Vargas. You're not going to taunt him and embarrass him in front of his family and fans.
Sammy Vargas has been busier, more active, more nuanced, and in our opinion anyway, well ahead on our cards. I'm sure the judges see it in a similar vein. I can't imagine they wouldn't, judged by the evidence in the ring. Ortiz, though, not taking any time off. Winding up, spraying everybody with some sweat. We're back, sorry about the audio difficulties, but the action, fast and furious here. Sam Vargas and Silverio Ortiz. Vargas in the off black, Ortiz in the glitter red and gold trim. And it's been Sammy Vargas from the get-go, showing some guile, some poise, and a lot of grit, outworking and outlanding Ortiz. Although It's Vargas who's wearing some scars tonight, leaking some blood courtesy of a headbutt by Ortiz, but hasn't phased Sam Vargas in the least.
Not one bit, and the reason why the Ortiz is head down, he's getting beat to the body, beat to the head. He's basically covering up, and that was the only weapon tonight was his head.
There you see more good defense on the inside by Sam Vargas. The subtle movements that weren't there earlier on in his career. Bolo punch again by Silverio Ortiz. Last time he did that, Vargas answered back. But at this point, why take any risk for Sam Vargas? You're well ahead of the fight.
Like I said before, Sammy's a warrior. His family and friends are here. His son's ringside. And Sammy's just a warrior. He's looking to put on a show and go to war and to get the W. I shouldn't say go to war because he's been a beautiful boxing tonight, but he likes to put on a show for his crowd, and he'll look to close the show.
Left hook fell short from Ortiz. Right hand, a little long. Vargas just doing the subtle movements so those punches don't land. Blake Porter waving back together.
Beautiful
Good.
check hook by Sammy.
Good
Caught
check
Ortiz
hook.
in the way in.
Sam Vargas showing the guile with both hands. Check hook. Fight is winding down. Good work by Ortiz at the bell, but Sammy blocking those, and they throw Lennon.
Guys know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Why they wanna move like that? Why you want gone? Why you want act like that? Why you play hard?
Scored at 77-75 in favour of our winner via unanimous decision from Toronto, Ontario, Samuel Vargas.
A closer decision than we had here. 5 rounds to 3 for Sam Vargas over Silverio Ortiz. And that fight on the judges' scorecard was 1 round away from being a draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go then with our main event of the evening. Lee BAXTER Promotions now bring you a scheduled 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO International and WBA and ABA welterweight titles. Live from the Scotiabank Convention Centre, Niagara Falls in Canada. Broadcasting live in the United Kingdom via way of Box Nation, in the United States of America via way of the MSG Network, and live across the nation here in Canada via Eastlink and CHCH. The officials have been appointed by the Ontario State Athletic Commission. The State Commissioner is Luke Kotek. 3 judges score the bout should it go the distance. They are Alan Davies, Jeremy Hayes, and Eric Marlinski. Timekeeper on the bell is Jim Monkelbaum and Dave Morden. And upon the sound of the bell, the referee in charge of this bout is Mark Simmons. This bout is sponsored by Pinty's, making great food fun, Everlast, Watchfinder, Neutral Vodka, Athlete Development and Management, Hard Hat Hunter, and DAZN. The officials are ringside and they are ready. The boxers and the corner teams are in the ring and they are ready. So for the fight fans ringside at Niagara Falls and the viewers joining us right around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started! A scheduled 10 rounds of boxing for the WBO International and WBA and ABA welterweight titles. Firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, officially on the scales at 145.6 pounds, 31 fights as a professional boxer, 24 victories, 16 finishing inside the scheduled distance. Standing in the ring this evening as a former WBA International and NABA welterweight champion and 2 times WBA World Super Lightweight champion, boxing out of Caracas, Venezuela, introducing Johan Perez. And across the ring, boxing out of the red corner, stands his undefeated opponent, a former member of the Canadian Olympic boxing team. On the scales at 146.8 pounds. 16 fights, 16 victories, including 11 going by way of KO, with 7 of those 11 going inside 2 rounds. Standing in the ring right now as a former WBC, WBO, and IBF international champion, boxing out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, via way of his native North Preston, Nova Scotia, introducing the undefeated Custio Clayton. Referee Mark Simmons will now issue his final instructions.
Boxers, we went over the instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. I want you to obey my commands at all times. These shorts are a little high. On the belt is good. On the belt is good. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Custio Clayton, Johan Perez about to get it on. The main event here, 10 rounds or less between these two leading welterweights. Jason Abelson joined ringside by former 2-time super bantamweight champion of the world, Steve Molitor. And the action underway here in round 1. Early on, you see the hand speed from Clay. He just flashed one jab, but whoosh. Custio Clayton in the white with the gold trim. Johan Perez in the purple with the silver trim. Perez with the height edge, but as I said before, he looked tapered him. He doesn't fight long. He tends to fight small. And it's Clayton doing the early work with the stick, both up high and to the body. Good work to the body by Custio Clayton. Early on in round 1, good early work by Custio Clayton. Perez just managing space, but not really throwing anything back. It's been Clayton with the power shots to the head and body. Nothing significant, but when nothing else is thrown, definitely notable. There's the hand speed in Clayton again. Good cagey work by Perez. Loving the jab to the body by Custio Clayton. Absolutely, yeah. Take the smaller guy, the taller guy, cut him in half with the body work. Slow down the legs, drop the hands. Good patience here by Custio Clayton. Reached a little with the jab. That concern you at all, Steve? Big right hand by Custio Clayton. Rocked Johan Perez. And patiently biding his time, not going in haphazardly with follow-up, knowing that maybe that round was definitely enough to secure the 10-9 card from the judges. Good job early on by Custio Clayton. Perez trying to land a counter shot. Fell just short for those. It was more body work by Custio Clayton. That right to the ribs, glancing, but still impressive. Keeps his hands held high too and hits with a terrific right hand counter by Custio Clayton. Good opening round. Round 2 underway between Custio Clayton and Johan Perez. Jason Abelson and Steve Molitor live ringside. This is a 10-round welterweight battle between Custio Clayton in the white with the gold trim and Johan Perez from Colombia, Venezuela, in the purple and silver trim. Good right hand by Custio Clayton again. Tall guys with slow hands tend to drop them a little bit, don't they, Steve? Both hands seem to be cocked and loaded for Clayton. The left jab, too, is firing out as well. Perez trying to answer back with the left to the body. Landed, but it's really one at a time. He seems to have really felt Clayton's power early on. There's another right hand by Custio Clayton. Turning into a money punch for him tonight against Johan Perez. And good defense, too. Notice Perez coming forward. Measured himself going back. Good body work by Perez. Could be his best body punch of the fight. Early on still. That's one of the few times he's really sat down on a punch to the body. Like, very focused in that ring. There's a jab again by Custio Clayton. And I love how he's not falling around the ring. He really is cutting the ring off. Forcing Perez into the corners. Terrific footwork by Custio Clayton. Good left hook by Perez. That's one of the first times that we've seen Clayton not be first with the punch. It was Perez that threw and landed, but it's a 1-2 and then get out. And doesn't have the impressive zip on the shots. That Perez almost with his style has to really increase the volume, doesn't he, Steve? Good defense by Custio Clayton, hands up high. Good counter right hand too by Clayton. Round 3 underway from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, Canada. Johan Perez in purple, and they did not score that, and they did. Referee Mark Simmons scoring what looked like an obvious slip as a knockdown. Custio Clayton getting a count and a wipe. And, wow, it's a tough call by referee Mark Simmons. And it's Perez who's following that up with some offense, sustained offense for the first time in the fight. Jason Abelson, Steve Molitor ringside from the Niagara Falls Convention Center in beautiful Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Custio Clayton in white and Johan Perez in the purple. And Perez seemingly the recipient of a dubious knockdown from referee Mark Simmons. We'll have to take a look at the replay. It seemed like Custio Clayton slipped, but nonetheless scored a knockdown by referee Mark Simmons. And it's Johan Perez with some new life here in round 3 after dropping, I thought, fairly obviously the first 2 rounds. More confidence out of Perez in round 3. He's the first now on these shots and creating some good ring space for himself. And now we're seeing Clayton more follow Perez into the corner as opposed to cutting off the ring. Good hand speed from Custio Clayton with the jab, however. Whoa, big overhand right hand by Custio Clayton. And Perez answers back with leather in kind, and a fight has broken out here in round 3 at Niagara Falls. Sneaky uppercut by Perez on the inside. Custio Clayton. Right now he's following more than cutting off the ring. That can't be good for the corner because I think that plays right into the caginess of Perez. We can follow some throw some sneaky shots down the middle, especially from underneath. Custio Clayton, though, that hand speed in evidence. That right hand, still an effective weapon here against Perez. Custio Clayton. In the white with the gold trim, Johan Perez in the purple with silver trim. And it's been a terrific fight so far. A good round for Johan Perez, but a good right hand by Custio Clayton. He's had a couple too. However, Perez, the recipient of a knockdown call from referee Mark Simmons. Good right hand by Custio Clayton as round 3 winds down. Slip by Custio Clayton. Either way, a knockdown scored by Perez, giving him his first round of the fight through 3. Jason Abelson joined by Steve Molitor ringside here at the Niagara Falls Convention Center, the Scotiabank Convention Center here in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Lee Baxter presenting a terrific night of live boxing action. Johan Perez and Custio Clayton going at it here in round 4. Good right hand, good left hand jab by Clayton drives Perez back. Perez, though, using his footwork now, throwing off the footwork with some busy hands. For the first time, really putting on the gas here against Clayton. A little busier here in the 4th, but a big jab by Custio Clayton backs up Perez. And now the punch-stat people really earning their money. The leather is flying from these two. Good overhand right by Clayton. Good right hand in return by Perez. There's another crisp right hand by Clayton. Good jab, good double jab. He pours on the pace, but Perez answers back. Good jab by Johan Perez. Some renewed life in those legs after that knockdown in the 3rd. Jason Abelson joined by Steve Molitor ringside, having a little mic problem with Steve. That's why he's gone quiet. Killing him, I know he wants to talk, but it's been a pleasure being with you guys tonight. Pleasure working alongside the former 2-time world champion. Big right hand by Custio Clayton. Another follow-up right hand. Perez working the jab, but some good movement by Custio Clayton. The fight more in the center of the ring right now. I think both guys are happy about it. Good left hook to the body by Custio Clayton. And a good right uppercut. Custio Clayton backing Perez into the corner. Perez with a shoulder shimmy. A short left to the inside. But it's Clayton answering back and applying the pressure. Perez, though, loves fighting off the ropes. Love that in the fighting. Comfortable moving his hands and legs. Doesn't have the pop in the shots, the one-time pop in the shots that Clayton does, but you can tell it's about the volume for Perez. And both guys are pouring on the volume here in the 4th. Good right hand by Clayton, hitting Perez into the corner. Perez spinning off into the middle of the ring. Quality stuff from both men. Clayton the left uppercut. Perez the counter left hook. The good jab by Clayton. And this fight getting better and better. Good right hand by Clayton. Unfazed, Perez comes back. The action.
Brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Here's a punch count brought to you by Everlast, and you can see volume ratcheted up in the 4th round. Both guys throwing caution to the wind in what was a doozy of a 3-minute stand. Custio Clayton start things off in the 5th. Good jab work. Snapping Perez's head back, not once but twice. Perez, though, undeterred, answers back, but there's a big right hand by Clayton, and another big right. Clayton looking good here in the 5th, while Perez ain't going anywhere. He's throwing back to the body, fighting off the ropes like a champ. Both men fighting and landing.
Could have put this fight inside a telephone booth.
The phone booth, you could put a piece of paper between them right now, Steve. There's Clayton, though, creating some space. Realizing in close, that could be Perez's office space. Perez very comfortable working the angles and the feet and the hands from in close. I think Clayton more comfortable from a distance, even though he's giving away some inches in height.
He's so fast and he's so sharp and he's such a good counter puncher. I don't think the length of Perez is that much of a threat. And a big, strong right hand by Clayton just missed, I think.
What a quality performance from both guys. Yeah, Clayton just a tad short with that right hand. Good movement from both guys. And now it's Clayton doing the stalking and Perez trying to create the space and the distance. It's one of these ebb and flow fights where the nuances change every split second. Now is Perez fighting like the taller fighter, but his hands get dropped and his head goes snapping back, courtesy of a Custio Clayton right hand.
Clayton has good defense. His hands are always up. He has a very good pedigree of boxing. He has good, knows where his hands are, knows where his feet are. He's boxing very well.
He has his hands are diligently up. I mean, very few times does he get caught with his head down. I want to see Perez work the body a little bit more. Don't you keep those hands held high?
I don't know if he's fast enough to be trying to risk to go down that low with a guy like Clayton. Clayton's very, very fast, very athletic. If he starts reaching out those long arms, he's going to hit 2 or 3 times.
Absolutely, more distance to cover with those long shots. Good work off the ropes by Perez. Custio Clayton now regaining that distance with the jab and snapping Perez's head back. Some shots by Perez, falls short.
Perez is a tough guy. He's taking some good shots. He's still firing back. He's still trying to win this fight. This is a very, very competitive fight up to this point. But I got Clayton ahead, 4 rounds to none.
Wow, big right hand by Custio Clayton. Perez rocked, but comes forward with a good left hand of his own. And a right, and a left. But Clayton with his hands up, blocking both of those. More fast and furious action in the 5th round between Johan Perez and Custio Clayton.
We're halfway through this fight, and a fight is broken out. Clayton's putting the pressure on Perez. Perez is answering the call, and they're going back and forth, and it's a very entertaining fight.
The 1-2 by Clayton, for all the good work Perez has done, the Clayton 1-2 seems to be the signature punches of the fight. The ones that have made, I think, the biggest statement so far through 5 rounds.
Absolutely. On top of his amazing boxing, here the punch catch shows Perez has thrown a lot more, but the crisper, cleaner shots have definitely been landed by Custio Clayton.
But Perez, as we said, is all about the volume. And will that impress enough of the judges to make this fight closer than maybe we see it with Custio Clayton's crisper shots?
After the Vargas decision, I don't know what some of these judges might be seeing.
Jason Abelson alongside 2-time world champion Steve Mulder, the Canadian Kid. We are live in the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and one hell of a main event between Custio Clayton in white with the blue trim and Johan Perez in the purple and gray trim.
Beautiful body work on the inside from Custio Clayton. Reaching around the elbows, going up the middle. And a big right hand right in front of us here. Knocks the sweat all over Perez's head.
That sweat flying, but Perez still rock solid. Another big right hand by Custio Clayton. That right hand landing with effect here in the 5th round. This is another right hand. Perez, though, still holding firm.
Let's give Perez credit. Those are 2 big right hands, and he's still fighting back. The crowd's getting their money's worth tonight, boy.
And Custio's getting right hand happy, but with reason. That's Clayton, right hand happy, but with reason. Perez just standing his ground, though. Good feint by Clayton. Perez reacting to that right hand. Perez looks like he's a little lost. Doesn't want to throw because when he was throwing before, that right hand was coming back in response.
2 big right hands he got earlier. He's definitely worn down. That was a big exchange. They both seem to be taking a little bit of a breather right now, waiting for an opening.
Johan Perez, Custio Clayton. 2 welterweights waging war here at the Niagara Falls Convention Center. The Scotiabank Convention Center here in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Big right hand by Custio Clayton.
Perez fires right back.
Fires right back. The smaller shots, but still. Whoa, big right hand by Custio Clayton. And for the first time, it looks like Johan Perez truly felt the effects of that shot.
That definitely wobbled him. That hurt him. But credit to him, he's fighting back.
There's no quit in Johan Perez. Those right hands by Clayton, just crisp as all get out.
And good body shots by Clayton. You know, you like to see that when a young fighter's up and coming. He has him hurt to the head, rip that body. It'll make it a little bit easier in the next round.
Yet, despite the great work, Perez still holding firm, going to the body. Clayton trying to fire off another right hand, and another right, and another strong hand for Custio Clayton. Another fun round from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Custio Clayton, big right hand over the top of Johan Perez's lazy jab. Another big right as well. Clayton just putting his moments on this fight so far through 6.
Those are two beautiful right hands. I hope we see some more in the future rounds. Those are big shots for him, and I feel they really broke Perez down, along with those small body shots on the inside. Very crafty for Clayton to throw those big right hands and go right to the back to the body. Very disciplined.
Another big right hand. Jason Abelson and Steve Mulder joining you ringside from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Big right hand by Custio Clayton, who's in white with the gold trim, going up against Johan Perez in the purple with the silver trim, and his back to the ropes. Good body work by Custio Clayton. Jab, jab, right to the body. Jab, jab, right to the head. Johan Perez, though, answering back in kind. Big left by Custio Clayton. Good body shot by Perez. First hook to the body we've seen in a while from the fighter from Caracas, Venezuela.
Right hand. You give me one, I'll give you one.
There's an old school feel to this fight, Steve.
Absolutely. You gave me one, I'm going to give it right back to you.
Good moments from Clayton in the ring there. The jab. The good defense on the inside. And Perez looking a tad reluctant to let the hands go here in round 7.
Those counters that came back in the last round so fast, he's definitely being a little bit more hesitant. He got hurt in the last round with that one right hand, but credit to Perez, he fought back. He's not here to lay down and take the loss. He's here to win.
Good jab, right hand by Johan Perez, both of which were blocked. There's that right hand by Custio Clayton. Right to the body as well. Want to see more jabs out of Clayton? Because he was really featuring it early on. It's not quite as prevalent as the fight's gone on.
He's really found a home with that right hand, but at the world class level, you have to have a jab. You have to work that jab. Pernell Whitaker, Larry Holmes, all the greatest fighters. Jab's key, Oscar De La Hoya. And for a good boxer like Clayton, I'd like to see a little bit more of the jab. That right hand's been money in the bank tonight.
It has been. You think Perez, though, is waiting on it?
With the jab or the right hand?
On the right.
He's dropped his jab percentage too in the last 2 rounds. I noticed since he caught that right hand. But he's just a fighter. He's not really a thinker. He's just here to fight and move forward and throw punches. Clayton's a thinker in there, and he's waiting for Perez to drop that left hand and hit him with the overhand right.
Custio Clayton doing thinking and fighting here. Really good all-around performance by both men. But a big right hand by Custio Clayton. A jab right hand. When he sets it up off the jab, it's been money. There it is again. Jab right hand.
Perez has got to be careful. 10 seconds left. He may get out of this round, but those right hands are starting to add up.
Know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. CJ Ike.
It's been like a laser-guided missile. And you see him throwing more shots than Perez in the last 2 rounds, which is significant because Perez more of the volume puncher. So you could tell maybe the Perez getting a tad more reluctant to throw, especially with what's coming back from Custio Clayton. What are you telling Perez if you're in Perez's corner right now, Steve?
You got to try to do something, because just moving back and getting countered all night is not going to do anything for you. It's not going to help you at all. You got to try to do something here. Clayton is taking control of this fight. He's and the big right hands are landing. But credit to Perez, he's fighting back. He's on the short end. He's getting hit a lot cleaner. He's getting hit more often. He's got to pump up the volume, try to make something happen.
So far, tough to do against Clayton, who's been relentless with his speed and power tonight. And boxing smart as well, creating space and opportunities for himself. And Perez doing his best to maintain that space, but Custio Clayton coming on strong. Jason Abelson with you ringside a long time, two-time world super bantamweight champion, the Canadian kid Steve Molitor. Pleasure joining you guys live tonight from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls as Custio Clayton continues to land right hands on the jaw of Johan Perez.
Perez taunting him there. That's just a sign to me that, yeah, those right hands are landing. Yeah, I don't like them. I'm going to do something to try to change the pace here and throw my hands down and taunt you.
There it is, that right hand again by Clayton. Perez answering back in kind. But he's not landing. He's answering back, but he's not really landing this, Steve.
He's not landing clean. He's not landing flush. He's not landing with any power. Clayton shots knocks Perez's whole body back. The judges notice it. The crowd notices it. And it's showing in Perez's body language.
Perez landing to the body with the right hand. There's a good left hooker cut from Custio Clayton. The page of the Donovan Razor-Ruddock's book right there. Good left again. Counter right hand by Perez.
Nice stiff jab by Clayton.
The steam really not on Perez's punches at this point. Custio Clayton happy to walk in and land that right hand. I don't think he's expecting much in return from Perez at this point, Steve.
No, that's 3 in a row, but Clayton's a classical boxer. He's not going to take too much risk. If Perez is a tough guy, Clayton will beat him down, but when he gets him hurt, believe me, he'll be like a shark in the water and he'll tear him apart.
Well, Custio Clayton showing a bevy of skills in class tonight against a tough, rugged, experienced Johan Perez. Live from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Great to be with you tonight, Jason Abelson and Steve Molitor. As another action-packed round winds down.
That's what's cruising Custio Clayton back to victory here tonight, as those overhand rights have been money from the first round on.
But Johan Perez, tough as nails, taking those right hands and still firing back. Good to see guys when they come over. Not just, lie down when the going gets tough, but actually fight back and show the crowd and the promoters that there's a real dog in them.
And you got to give credit to Lee Baxter. He's the one promoting this fight. He's the one not letting his fighters have easy fights. When you have an easy fight, you don't grow and you don't learn.
Exactly.
So credit to Lee Baxter, credit to the Custio Clayton team, because this is what makes you grow as a fighter, and this will take you to the world-class level, is by fighting tough guys, learning and growing.
Yeah, it's one thing to breed champions, another thing to breed fighters. If you're a fighter, you'll end up lasting longer than champions do.
Absolutely.
Jason Abelson and Steve Molitor with you ringside from the Scotiabank Convention Center in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Johan Perez in the purple, Custio Clayton in the white and blue trim. And more right hand for Custio Clayton, and that one rocked Johan Perez. Left, right to the body. Left hook just misses. Custio Clayton pouring it on, but Perez fighting back.
Those are big right hands. That hurt him. And another one.
Another right hand. Custio Clayton right to the body. I love that body shot.
Very disciplined out of Clayton. Body head. Has his man hurt, but still remembering to dig to the body.
Referee Mark Simmons throwing another lifeline to Johan Perez, telling Custio Clayton to keep him up. Not sure they were low, but regardless. Custio Clayton probably shouldn't let that bug him. There's a right hand. Clearly doesn't bother him too much. Because he hasn't really gone low, really. I mean, he's been at the head all night. I don't even know if that was worth a warning, to be honest with you, Steve.
No, not at all, especially when the flow of the fight is going like that. It's unfortunate they're not going to stop like that, but these guys aren't going to stop going to war. Big left hook by Clayton.
Clayton working the body, the hook to the body and head now, but there's always that right hand to the head of Perez. Now he's mixing in that hook to the body. This is the new wrinkle in the arsenal. Custio Clayton and Perez is feeling those body shots. Backing up, hands dropped. I think he's just a matter of time at this point. It's all heart from Johan Perez and all offense from Custio Clayton. There's another left hook to the body. That left hook to the body has changed things immeasurably here for Custio Clayton in the 9th round.
A tough guy like Perez can take headshots all night. You get a tough guy to the body and you'll see him go down and you'll see him quit. Perez has found the home for that left hook to the body. He sees that's hurting Perez and he's launching it with vicious intent in this round.
Another hook. Wow. He's feeling it. It's almost like Clayton hurt the right hand because it's not there anymore and he's just landing lefts now.
He's seen the effect of those big left hooks.
but with the right and the left. More to come. Custio Clayton having his way in round 9 against Johan Perez, and here's a taste of what he handed out.
Big right hand caught him there, but the impressive shot on this round was a left hook to the body. He found a home. It hurt Perez, and Clayton knows it.
The lefts came fast and furious from Custio Clayton. After really 8 rounds of not really featuring it, relying on the right, it was that left to the body that really turned the tables further in the favor of Custio Clayton. Through 9, Custio Clayton pouring it on, outlanding, out-punishing Johan Perez in the 9th. Can he finish the fight strong and pick up where he left off? There's that right hand by Custio Clayton, and another left to the body. Another left to the body. The right hand over the top. Perez firing back, very little on those shots. And Custio Clayton walking through Johan Perez here in the 10th. To the body, to the head again with the left. Custio Clayton pouring on the sauce here in the 10th. Right hand by Perez may have landed, but Custio Clayton undeterred, big left.
And these aren't pitter-patter shots. These are hard, vicious, bad-intention shots from Custio Clayton. And here in the 10th round, that's impressive. 10th round, power shots, and non-stop.
And he's looking fresh as the daisy. Custio Clayton looking like it's round 2 in the ring. Power from both hands. Perez, tough as nails, hanging in there. But it's Custio Clayton with the statements, with the left and the right. To the body and to the head. Good right uppercut on the inside, but Perez backs up Clayton momentarily, but not for long. Clayton again venturing into the corner in pursuit of Perez.
Perez switches to southpaw.
Yep. He's got to do something different at this point, Steve.
He's looking for anything to try to change it with the beating that he's getting. He's just trying to change things up.
But with that right hand of Clayton, that southpaw stance, I guess it depends on the foot position, but that right hand from Clayton could suit himself really well against the left-handed stance.
But I think he did it because he didn't like those left hooks to the body. That takes away the angle when he's switching to southpaw. He'd rather get hit in the face with those right hands than those left hooks to the body because they hurt him.
They had no defense for them when he was in the orthodox position. Great point, Steve. Now, how does Custio Clayton answer the look, the different look?
Knock him out with the right hand.
Knock him out with the right hand.
And he has the power, he has the ability, and he's hurt him. He's letting that
There's
right hand go again.
The right hand again by Custio Clayton on the chin of Johan Perez. Perez maintaining the southpaw position, but that right hand and another one might change him back to orthodox. Custio Clayton.
Like I said earlier, a tough man can take it to the head. You start ripping a man to the body, you find out what he's made of. And Perez does not like those body shots, and I believe that's why he switches southpaw. He'd rather take the right hand over top from Clayton to the head.
Great point, Steve Molitor, former 2-time world champion. Man knows his stuff. Another right hand by Custio Clayton.
10 seconds left. Take it away, Jason.
Wow, they're pouring it on. It's been a great night of fights here from the Scotiabank Convention Center. And both men want to end it with a statement. Custio Clayton and Johan Perez. Great show from both men. More to come after the break.
Know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. CJ Ike.
10 rounds of welterweight boxing. We ask our judges to decide the contest. Alan Davis has the bout scored at 97-93. Jeremy Hayes sees the contest at 99-91. And Eric Marlinski has the bout at 98-91. All 3 judges score in favor of our winner, leaving the ring as the newly crowned WBO International WBA NABA welterweight champion from Canada, Custio Clayton.
Custio Clayton improving his record to 17-0 with 11 knockouts with unanimous decision. A statement win by Custio Clayton to improve to 17-0 with 11 KOs over Johan Perez. Want to thank everyone in charge today who made this night so special. Line producer Michael A. Charbon, director Frank Bosniak, Steve Molitor. I'm Jason Abelson. Congratulations to Custio Clayton. A wonderful night of boxing presented by Lee Baxter. Hope you enjoyed it at home. For everyone here
Thank you so much, and enjoy